Drawing cities is something I see people avoid to their detriment. If you have a fantastic figure drawing, there is no reason you should have bad backgrounds. Why? Well, everything has anatomy. A building has anatomy. And in encoding Bushido, I drew a lot of city backgrounds. I augmented them with my own photography and increased the scale and scope of many scenes with some simple techniques. Almost everything, however, depends on setting up a simple scene and a sense of perspective. And often artists and comics take a particular shortcut, which makes backgrounds look just kind of out of place, literally. If you look at photos or renders of some of the scenes you are trying to emulate or reference, they all have something simple in common, and it's usually a long lens. You know, a long or telephoto lens compresses the apparent perspective lines that you're trying to copy or emulate. So using Clip Studio Paint's perspective tools can help you establish those shallow angles that are admittedly pretty hard to draw on your own. But I like working with a natural approach to the viewpoint in panels, unless they call for something like a fisheye effect. So the city begins with a set of perspective guides with a very shallow pitch. That's the distance between the beginning and the end of the guides as visible in the panel. Combined, these guides form a solid perspective grid for you to establish the shapes of your city buildings. Since Encoding Bushido was a sci-fi book, I went with shapes that are geometric but not just simple boxes. There are overhangs, tapered proportions, and more unusual boxes with cuts and angles add up to a good group of buildings. Changing your brush size to make panels, antenna, windows, and other details helps establish the scale of things. You need something a human can identify as a window, or a set of stairs, or just something. And also be aware of things that misinform scale, like terraces or ovals that give the wrong impression of scale. One of the last things I use to establish scale is depth, but this can take two approaches. One is just using a simple radial gradient to imply fog, but my preferred method, which is used sparingly, involves painting a depth map by hand and applying both color, light, slight blurs to the background to get that depth. That's it for today. If this helped you, please be sure to like and subscribe. Or if you want first look at all future videos, sign up for my newsletter using the links from my channel.